I'm Lisa.
And I'm Jen, and this is the Megaphone podcast.
And we're back for number 2 of our Maximize Your Me Time, Minimize Your Guilt. This is a very important series it's turning out to be.
I'm much less scared about this one, though. I feel way better. I feel like the worst part's over for me. It's only going to get better from here until the guilt.
There we go.
Until the guilt one, then it's going to get a little dicey.
It's okay. If you don't know what Jen's talking about, she's talking about how last week she about had a stroke.
Oh,
wow. We were talking through.
I did.
She had an actual stroke while we were talking through, like,
stroke.
Have you earned your me time? Like, have you done enough to earn this time? Which is a very common question. We either ask ourselves or we assume other people are asking of us or whatever. So if you missed it, go back. If you haven't downloaded the workbook yet,
treacherous.
Do that.
Yeah.
It's at lisagraft.com. It's free for you to download, and you can follow along with us. We're doing 5 weeks. There's 5 little sections. Like, listen to this, 10 minutes, or, do it at the same time. Whatever you want. I'm not trying to tell you what to do besides download the workbook. Okay. Download the workbook. Make sure you listen to last week's, because there's a whole thing. And today we're going to talk about how do you generally spend your me time?
Yeah. And I love it. There's a worksheet. You can fill out your screen time and stuff. Like, I actually printed this out and wrote it down. Like, it was helpful.
And writing it down makes it very real.
Yes.
Like, it's one thing to look at it and go, okay, I don't want to pretend I didn't see that. But it's another thing for you to look at the report on your cellular device. And if you don't have an iPhone and you have an Android, like, you still have access to this. It's called something else. But
it's written on your thing.
Yes.
Digital well-being report.
Boom.
How's your digital well-being?
It's not good. And I'll tell you, I can show you, and we're going to get to that. But that's what we're going to talk about today. How do we generally spend our me time? And I put out a survey a little while ago to the good people who follow me on the socials, and said, and it came back, there was some about me time and some about all sorts of stuff, but 75% of the people who responded, all women, 75% of us know how much time we have. We know we have extra time, and we know we're not using it wisely. 75% of us know how much extra time we have and know that we're not doing it wisely. Like,
that's a problem.
That's a problem. Like, I'm sorry.
To all of us.
Yes, to me included. It's tough love Lisa, and let's get on board with tough love Lisa for a second.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, I just have this problem. Fix it. I can't get to work because my tire's flat. Fix it. Like, what?
What are you going to do about it?
I'm hungry. Eat.
Yeah.
Right. Like, these are things that we problem solve all day long.
Yeah.
That's how we get through life. Right. The door's closed. Open it. Right. Like,
break through.
Right. But we overcomplicate it somehow. Like, this is not rocket science. Like, you have time. You have extra time. 75% of you know that that's true. The other 25% of you are in denial. You're welcome. Okay. I told you, tough love Lisa. Okay.
She means business.
I mean business today. I'm like, 75. And then the other 25, don't even get me started with you 25ers. Okay, listen. There might be a few percentages of people who are like, I don't have a moment to spare.
Yeah.
And if that is you, I would ask you kindly to reevaluate your life.
What can you start saying no to?
You got to say no to something, girl. Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Like,
not sustainable.
This is not.
We both tried it, been there, done that. Didn't work.
It didn't work. And guess what? This isn't working either.
Yeah.
We know we've got time, but we don't know. And we know we're not using it wisely.
Yeah.
It was just so shocking
to
me to go, wait, let me tally what?
Because I think of being like people saying, no, I don't have time.
Right.
So I appreciate the honesty and the vulnerability of the 75 for going, no, that's a lie. Like, I do actually have time, but I'm probably not using it super wisely. Like, I appreciate the honesty.
Yes.
Like, Okay, let's start there.
That's a good start. So that just means 75% of us are on our way to making the change.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to do today is just figure out like how, okay, if you know you have a problem, you know you're not using your time wisely, let's just take a look at how you're spending your time.
Yeah. So I like to sometimes in my little structure brain, organized brain, like I like to organize things sometimes by like who, what, where, when, why. So I feel like right now to anyone else out there who's like me, like this is the what. We're going to take some inventory and look at your time. Your what is the time spent. How are you spending it? Okay.
Okay. And then we're going to get to the why.
Yes.
And then next week, spoiler alert, we're going to get to the how you're going to maximize your me time and minimize your guilt.
We're
It's
not.
gonna be amazing.
We're not going to leave you hanging.
No.
We will show you how, but next week.
Yeah, but tough little Lisa, she might come back.
Okay.
I kind of like her.
I do
Feisty.
too.
Fiery.
Lots of truth. Very passionate.
I'll never do that again. Ever. That was
Right.
ridiculous. I'm going to edit that out. Ha
Screen-
I've got the power. Okay, keep us on track, Jen.
Screen
Jeez.
time averages. You want to talk about that?
Not really.
Nope, me neither. Great. Moving on. No, this worksheet is awesome. So I would really highly recommend that you get the PDF, download it. And I would recommend, because I was like, oh, I've got fancy Adobe stuff. I could just edit it electronically. But there's power. I was like, nope, even my little black and white version, I'm going to print it out and click a pen and have to look at my phone and carry over the numbers and actually fill this out. So I would highly recommend that you do this with us. But yeah, you break down on here, like what's your screen time average? What's your highest day? What's your Facebook, your Instagram? And then you can fill in the blank with other apps. So do you want to just start there?
Yep. Great. Okay. My weekly average, this is last week, 3 hours and 39 minutes.
Okay. Mine's 3 hours, 44 minutes.
Oh, okay. See? All right.
We're very matchy so far. This is good. I'd feel less alone. Okay.
Highest day.
5 hours. What? And 27 minutes. Yours was on Tuesday, and I believe it was 5 hours and 31 minutes. Does that sound right? Does that sound right? Yeah.
Can you see it? 5 hours. I'm holding up to the camera. If you're listening, this is what I'm doing. Holding up to the camera. 5 hours and 31 minutes. Tuesdays are always my highest. What am I doing on a Tuesday? You know what I'm doing on a Tuesday? I'm on my phone, obviously.
Yeah. I love that we're just minutes apart, though.
Yes, it does make me feel better.
Misery loves company.
Oh, yeah. We are swimming in it now.
What about Facebook?
Facebook, 31 minutes.
Okay. 18.
Okay, there you
Watch
go.
out. I'm going to beat you here a bit.
Okay.
Instagram.
1 hour and 12 minutes.
1 hour, 26 minutes.
Aha! Take that.
Yeah. And then we got to fill in the blanks. Do you have one highlight you want to share with your fill in the blank? Could be YouTube, messages, Marco Polo.
My Marco Polo is quite the shenanigan.
Yeah.
On this particular day, I want to come to my own defense.
Okay.
And say I spent 41 minutes in Canva on my phone, which
Good
is how I make
job.
graphics.
Good job.
So usually I do it on the computer.
She's
But
working.
here's the deal. Here's my you can rationalize that. Go ahead. Go. Yeah, feel better? No, I don't. Because this does not count the time I spend on my computer.
Oh, yeah.
I go to Facebook on my computer a ton.
Oh, that's true.
Like 40 times a day. I don't do Instagram on my computer, but I do Facebook on my computer. This doesn't even count
How
that.
did I forget about that?
Because you don't want to know.
Dang it.
Gracious sakes, we don't want to know. No, what I'll tell you is my little highlight is this is not true all the time. But there was a time in my past that I spent more time that week in the Burger King app than I spend in the Bible app. Are you serious? In the Burger King app, looking for coupons for Whoppers.
Gotta get that Whopper.
Yeah. Oh my! I'm so hungry right now. Yes, you got to get that Whopper. You know what else you need? The bread of life. Okay, I'm looking for coupons for Whoppers, and I'm like, Jesus, nope. I'm like, oh, he's already here. He's here. The Whopper.
Man, I get $1 off.
I
know.
know.
I go right now. That's good.
It's a problem.
It is a problem. for all of us, because I don't use the Bible app nearly as much as I should. And I rationalize too, like, oh, well, I listened to that sermon and I listened to that song and I got my scripture from this devotional. But I'm like, you could put any of my silly apps above the Bible app most weeks. So I'm with you. When you say it like that, though, it's like eye-opening. Like, really?
Right.
You want to tell Jesus that? Like,
and not even the course of a day.
Yeah.
This isn't even one day. I'm looking at, well, I went to Burger King, and then you're in the app because you wait in the drive-through line or whatever. This is all week. I had all week to read the Bible app.
Yeah.
And how many times did I go to Burger King that week? What is wrong? Like, let's start, really? If you want to start digging in, we have someone in. Let's get me a couch and a psychiatrist. Like, we need to start evaluating.
I feel like this is good, naming the problem, okay? Naming the day-to-day, the app usage, the screen time. But I want to go a little deeper and like, okay, that's what we're doing. How is that making us feel? Right? That's like the next step on the worksheet. Like, okay, so now that you know what you're doing, and you talk through Netflix too, like when you're done watching, are you generally more? And then you put some combos, this or that, this or that. Would you like me to read those?
I would love for you to read those.
Are you more stressed or relaxed? Are you more tired or rejuvenated? Are you more intentional? What? Or apathetic? Typically when I'm done with screen time, I feel more apathetic and like zombied out and tired.
I'm too tired to do anything. I better just go to bed.
Yeah. Shut the brain off. I got to numb it. Now I want to shut it down.
Yeah.
I don't feel intentional. I don't feel rejuvenated.
No.
Go, wow, I'm ready to take on the world.
Right. Or even like it's like waiting for the kids to come out of school or whatever, and I'm in the parking lot. I could do several things.
Yeah.
Listen to a song. I could pray. I could do a bunch of things that I know.
Silent.
I could be silent.
Still.
Right. What if I just sat there quietly?
Oh, like the spiritual discipline of solitude and stillness? What?
Even for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I tried one time. I had to set my alarm because it made me so anxious.
Oh my gosh.
5 minutes of just sitting still, quiet.
It's hard to do.
And you think 5 minutes? No. It was so hard. And I was like, I was breathing heavy going, oh my gosh, is it done yet? Is it done yet?
Which that's not restful.
No. We got a problem.
I worked on this once in college. I wanted to take this on, and it took like 3 months for me to get like maybe 30 seconds of true stillness and solitude. And you know what's funny? It was like, what the worst part was, because I'm like, there's quiet around me. There's external quiet. There are limited distractions. I'm alone. I'm physically alone, feeling the solitude, right? But it was my mind going, what time is it? How long has it been yet? Oh my gosh, what am I cooking for dinner? Oh, what if she's in a bad mood today? What if I have to parent this way tonight? Like, and I'm thinking. And in college, it was like, oh, I need to go do, run that errand and get this paper done. So it's all the brain monkeys. It's all these thoughts. And it's really hard. That would be a good challenge. Like,
that would be a really good challenge.
Start with 30 seconds to just silence your brain completely and think about taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Like in and out, that deep inhale, exhale.
That makes me feel like that's completely impossible. But you can do it. But how much would 30 seconds even go? Like, would it be an actual like breath of fresh air?
Yes. Would you feel more tired and apathetic and stressed after that? No. Would you feel like you found some true rest and a little reset button and maybe a little more rejuvenated to take on the next thing?
Yeah.
Would you feel like you were intentional in that moment? You guys, we're doing it all wrong.
We've got a problem.
Like, no, I'll just do this instead. Comparison, safe of joy. Oh, mind numbing.
Ad. I need that. I don't need that.
Why am I poor? I feel bad. You just spent all your money on that silly ad.
Okay. We've got a problem. I think we've amplified the problem enough. And here's the thing,
Right.
I'm like, amplify the problem. This is what they teach you in communication school. Jen and I both communication majors. Okay, so we know how to talk. Okay,
Talk to people and say some stuff.
yep, that's what we do.
We're
And
real good at
one of
that.
the techniques is called amplify the problem, so you can sweep in with the solution.
Yeah.
Sweep, swoop.
There's something I don't have.
You gotta
it.
swap with a solution.
Yeah.
And this is not even amplifying the problem.
No.
This is the problem. Like, we're not even exaggerating.
This is barely scratching the surface of identifying.
Right.
The
This
problem.
sounds like, oh my goodness. I feel like if we told this to somebody from another country,
Oh.
they'd be like, what? Like,
I just, never mind. Yes,
no,
we
yeah,
will.
we can't. We can't. Nothing good is going to come from that if we chase down that rabbit trail. Save us, Jen.
Okay, so the idea of scratching the surface, I think to take it on another level is, how do you feel then? Like, how do you feel after all those things? And we talked about this or that. No, is it how, when you're done with your screen time, this little problem we have, is it how you want to feel after some me time? No. 75% of you are not happy with how you're spending the time that you do have.
Yeah. And I know we're getting specific on this about screen time, which I feel like is everybody, and it's a common problem, and that's why I threw it in there.
Yeah.
But it's also like, if you're using your me time to self-medicate in any way, like, are you more patient, loving, and kind after you me time out with, like, you get in the hot tub or whatever with a bottle of wine? Like, do you come back in going, wow, I'm ready to go. Now I'm ready to go. Or do you come back in guns a-blazing, like kind of irritated and a little tipsy,
Or
right? Like,
a
this
worse
isn't
version of yourself.
a worse version. This isn't healthy.
No. Now you've numbed out so much, you're not thinking about anything and you go straight into bed. Like,
right.
Did you
or into parenting or into conversations or into picking fights and into
into laziness.
Right.
It's like, no,
any
I
and
just can't.
all of it. Like, it doesn't have to be screen time. Screen time we all have a problem with, so I put it in there. But if you're like, I'm not on screen time, but I look at this and I do this, and
I have
whatever
one.
it is for you.
One of the questions how you end out your worksheet is, it says, list any other ways you spend time by yourself, in the car, folding laundry. What do you do during that time? This is insanely practical. This was actually, like, I took off my co-host podcast hat off, okay? And I put on just Jen as a wife and mom in person. Like, who am I? What do I do day to day? Like, this, I just have to, like, testify that this is a good PDF, man.
You can get it yourself at lisagraff.com. It's free.
Yep.
Go.
So it's helpful. Like, it actually helped me
Yeah.
to be like, okay, sometimes this can get a little fuzzy. You might be a little too close to it. Let's list out what you do in the car. Like, that held my hand to go, okay, I can think through this. What do I do in the car? And thought through it. And I'm like, oh, I think, in all caps, I put thinking exclamation mark as my first item, because I'm like, this is a weird one because it's not a screen time and it's not self-medicating. When I'm alone in the car, my brain is going on everything and all the things. And it is not a peaceful thinking. It is anxious. It's pining. It's ruminating. It's searching. It's buffering. It's pending. It's like, I do not stop.
Yeah.
And that's me time. And that's how I'm spending it in the car alone. And it's not working. It's not helping.
No.
I'm obsessing over things, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and maybe your list and you're driving and and I'm the same way. Like, and all of us, our brains don't stop.
No.
But if we're like, we're going to get to the how next week, but I'm going to give you a little treat first. Okay. We'll just, spoiler alert, here's a freebie for now. Is we're in the car going, what if we don't have to stop our brains, but what if we shift that into, hey, God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm running late. Hey, God. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm this and this and this and this and all the things you're thinking about, just shift it. Like, just change its direction. Just in your mind, go, God, I'm telling this to you. I'm telling this to you. So it's like, even if you're new to prayer and all of that stuff, like, just shift it.
I love that.
Because then it becomes a prayer and not like I've heard it said, like worrying is basically praying for things you don't want to happen because you're spending so much time thinking about it, when you could just shift that and go, okay, God, that person cut me off. Can you believe that? Like just open that up to a conversation.
Yeah.
And just, it's a tiny tweak.
Yeah.
But it could make a huge difference.
Oh, I want to go do that right now. I'm like, time out. I'm going to go drive. I'll be right back. Like, that's such a huge shift.
Yeah.
He already knows what
Right.
you're dealing with,
Yeah.
and he wants to be in relationship and communication with you. So just add in the little, hey, God, in front of it to address it to him and bring it to him.
Yeah.
Even if it's not some fancy, eloquent prayer.
No.
Like sometimes I put the pressure on, like, I need to use the right adjective here, you know, like, no.
Yes.
Just talk, just offer it up to him.
Right.
Like,
just acknowledge you're here.
yes.
And then maybe here's another bonus. Oh boy, here it goes. It's coming to me now.
Oh boy.
What about at every stoplight? I pick up my phone at every stoplight.
Okay.
I'm trying to get better at that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to replace that as I shift my thinking to praying. Stopping at every stoplight going, okay, do you have anything to say to me? Do I need to listen? Like, what if you just practice listening for the 15 seconds when the light was red?
I have an add-on. Woo! Oh, we're doing it, you guys. I love that. Okay, are you ready?
I don't even know.
It's a little cheesy, but it's going to work. Okay, went through Rooted in the curriculum. You just Google it. It's like a small group curriculum.
It's a thing. Helps you get rooted in Christ and the Jesus and the scriptures.
We like roots. It says, you know, how do you pray? And if you're just getting started and whatever. One of the acronyms, so this is where it's like, oh boy, are you about to get cheesy and Christian-easy? It's pray, P-R-A-Y.
Mm-hmm.
The Y of pray that we were studying is yield.
Mm-hmm.
And yield actually means to stop all your requests, stop your praising, stop your talking, your offense, and stop and listen. And that should be the last part of, you know, if you need some help structuring to get started, the Y is yield. You're yielding at a yellow light and a red light to stop, like physically stop your car and yield and listen. Like that goes together. And then like, that's a memory hook for me. I will think to do that too. I love that.
Stop your car, stop your brain.
Yeah. And ask, hey, what do you have for me?
I like it.
Green light. Okay, now I'm back to
But I bet if once you stop, you'll get stopped stopping.
What?
You'll get you couldn't keep up with that?
What? Get on my level.
Yeah. Come join me up here, won't you?
Stop stopping.
If you stop and the light's only red for 5 seconds, you're not likely going to go back into green light right away.
Yeah.
You know, just FYI. Anyway, there's a little bonus for you.
We all know this, but I feel like it's appropriate. Matthew 11:28-30. Come to me. Hello. Come to me at stoplights. Come to me with your worries and your anxieties.
That's right.
All who labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart. You will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. We could have a whole podcast episode translating that, getting all the message versions and different translations.
The Passion Translation version of it is so good. I'm using a talk coming up and I'm like,
oh my gosh.
It says something about I'm easy to please. And I'm like, come. Because I'm easy to please. I'm like,
that sounds nice.
That's what I need.
Great.
I need somebody who's easy to please.
Sign me up.
Oh, you just want me here? Like right here? Oh, okay.
To change my worries in the car and my thinking
to go
to hey God, here's what I'm doing. Just want me to come to you?
Oh,
and then you're going to like actually take the burden off of me?
Yeah.
Because your way is actually like restful and peaceful.
Isn't that so exciting?
You want to share that with me? Okay.
Oh.
Hello. Why don't we do this?
We're doing it wrong.
All right. So the problem is we're not making enough me time. There's room for improvement in our time spent.
Yes.
Okay. The root of this, I think, is that we don't know how.
Yeah. Don't know how.
I think we don't have enough time sometimes.
Yeah.
I think we're not maximizing what time we have. And I think that we have our priorities wrong.
Totally.
We're thinking I need to scroll and numb and self-medicate, self-fix this.
It's just habit. We're lazy.
Yeah.
Like it would take you work to figure out like what you'd actually want to do, which is next week, like encouraging you and helping you structure and do some work around it. Because if somebody was like, here, take an hour, I'd be like,
what?
Oh, what would
There's
I
so many
even...
things I would need to do in an hour. A
Right.
free hour?
Right.
Should I do this?
Right. Is that going to fill you up? No, you have to take it as quality me time. We'd be deer in headlights.
And I would be so stressed about everything else I'm not getting done in that hour.
Exactly. Yeah. Which we're working on.
Yeah.
We're working on her. We love her so much.
Priorities are all out of whack.
All out of whack.
That's the what is the time spent. The why that I think we need to communicate is that this is important. Like what you're doing with your time is important. And why? Because you're important. And how you show up in the world is important.
Right. You matter.
Yeah.
Like your life matters. It matters that we're not just here floating blobs trying
showing
to go
up tired and numbed out.
Right.
That's
and you don't have
God
to like no, and you don't have to like chase big crazy dreams and like we're not talking about starting a podcast like anything wild and crazy. That's not you. We just want you. Like God created you to show up in the world to be the you that he needs you to be to the people he put in your life. Like none of this is an accident. You're not even listening to the sound of my voice accidentally. You're here for a reason to get something from this that God wants to teach you so you could show up. Like, what if we need you?
Yeah.
We need you out there and we need you at your best. Just living and loving the only way that you know how, because you're the only one that can do that. So carry on.
Boom. Preach. I'm just, as you're talking, I'm just picturing like a father of a child going like, and it's easier. Like I can't think about it with me, but when I think about another person,
no, go there. Yeah.
I think about like how you're talking about showing up in the world and how, like, if we're parents, like if we created a kid and we know like the way that they could like find rest and we think we know what's best for them and like we know what not to do. And we're going like, you're so unique and wonderful and I created you and whatever. But it's like thinking about him looking at us going, all I actually want to do is take those worries and anxieties and pressures and self-prescribed to-dos off of you because I have this figured out. And all I want you to do is to be with me and join with me. Like if we really unpack and think through the heart of that Matthew verse, like I just want you to be you and I want you to have freedom and peace.
Yeah. So good. And
I'm going to show up to help you do that. Like,
right.
When we don't have to overcomplicate this.
Exactly. Well, and it's like, if you're a parent trying to like, your kid fights naps, like and when you get older, you're going to wish you had naps, right? Like, like a nap is going to be so good for you. Going to bed at these hours is going to be so good for you.
And
I've got this figured out. Like you can trust me while you sleep.
Yeah.
Like you can trust God while you're in your me time. Okay. Like,
and us saying to our kids, like, I know you're going to be the best you when you wake up. Right. I know you need this time for yourself.
Right. To read. Fight. And that's what we're doing. And that's what we talked about last week with you and the grace. Like, I just want to give you this gift. No, I'm not going to take it. Right.
I can't do that for myself.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
I wish I could take a nap. You know, like
I love that analogy.
We just fight. We fight it. And it doesn't have to be this hard.
No. And the nap is good for us. Like he wants good things for us. He wants the best for us.
Right.
Why are we throwing a tantrum? Because we're going to miss out on all the other things we should be doing.
Ugh.
Okay. Solution. Step 1, take inventory on how you are currently spending your me time.
Yep. That's on the worksheet. That's what we did.
Yeah. 2, I think make some notes. Just kind of look at that, what you have down and go, is this good or bad? Is there room for improvement? Like make some notes.
Make it very simple too. Again, this is not complicated to go, oh, I'm just moving numbers from this column to this column. Yeah, but then look at them and go, oh, like let that make you feel something.
Does this bother me? Do I think this might be a problem in my life? Or no, like, oh, you know what? It's 2 seconds spent. Great. Done.
Perfect.
Don't struggle with that right now. Great.
Next.
Make a note of it. Number 3, I think dream of ways to improve. because next week we really will dig deep in the how to maximize your me time, like how to do it, guide you through. But before we get there, like imagine, like, what do you think? What rings true to you? Like, as you look and as you make notes, what does your brain start to go towards as you dream of ways that maybe your life could look like this on the other side?
Right. Oh yeah. When I think it's kind of skipping the middle part of what you'll actually do and the how and how you'll feel coming out of it. Like it's really like the way to get there is like it's, you know, we'll get there, but to skip past that for now and go, oh, what if I had an hour and I left that hour feeling like the weight of the world was off my shoulders, and I walked into the room back into my house with my family and I was smiling genuinely. And they said to me, whoa, hey, what did you just do? You know, like, they're gonna notice.
It's vacation for me. Jacob's like, you look so rested and like at peace, and I'm so happy. I'm a different person on vacation. Yeah, it's the same kind of outcome.
We got to start bringing that vacation into day to day, because we can't all be living on the beach. Okay.
No. And the step 3 for me today is like, I'm dreaming of what it will look like when I change my thinking in the car. Yeah. And the striving, the anxiety, and the I got to do all these things. So what am I going to make for dinner? Did I forget to get that thing at the grocery store, and I'm going to go back, and efficiencies, and I'm all the tallies and the tokens. It's exhausting up here to go, hey God, and actually start moving towards surrender in those thoughts. Right. I'm that's a dreaming of a way, and like I am thinking of how I will feel. I'll be back. See you later. I gotta go and drive around and think.
If you haven't downloaded the workbook yet, you need to. It's at lisagraft.com and it's free. We want you to follow along with us. If you missed last week, we started with week 1. You are not too far behind to catch up. Yeah. Just do it and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I want to tag team our last remember line for today. Okay. So add on some stuff here, okay? But I'm going to start by saying today, remember, you have permission to take inventory of your me time, take control of your time in self-care. Like, what would you add on to that? What are we giving them permission to do today?
Pay attention. Yeah. Permission to pay attention, and permission to feel the likely negative feelings that are going to come with, like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? I spent like 40 minutes looking at pictures this week. Yeah. Like, instead of looking at my actual life,
living
like that should make you feel something. Yeah. So I'm going to give you permission to feel that and know that there's hope on the other side of that when you start digging into it. And we're going to talk about it next week. So permission to stay tuned next week.
And permission to dream of how you'll feel on the other side of me time well spent.